and we're at 65% left on the battery. This is actually doing better than I expected. Stick around and we'll get right to it. Hey, welcome back guys. Jason, KM4ACK. Be sure to stay through the entire video because I've got a giveaway for you guys. In fact, 2 different giveaways that we're going to be doing in this video. Today we're going to be taking a look at this new Aferiy Nano 1800 power station, but this isn't just a video on the specs. We're actually going to do some real-world testing just like you saw in that opening clip so that you can get an idea of how long something like this would last. All right, so let's do the refrigerator test and see how long it's going to power my refrigerator. You can see we're at 100%. And the time is 10:18 in the morning. All right, 8:15 in the morning, and we are starting the freezer run on this power station. Now, currently we're drawing 0 watts. We are at 100% since we got 92 hours. Keep in mind, it is middle of the summer, and this is an ancient deep freeze. This thing is from 1995, so not the most energy efficient. But I'm not sure if it's even going to run this battery dead over the course of a day, so we might have to extrapolate some data from this test. All right, let's run more of a real-world test. It is 7:39, basically 7:40 in the morning. The battery is at 99%. It has already dropped 1% since I started this video. In this test, we will be running the refrigerator, and then if we follow the cord along over here, we are also running that lamp. We're running the modem for our internet, and we're running the TV. All right, for this test, we are running an ice machine. It is 11:20 in the morning. We're gonna let this run for a few hours and see how it does. It is only pulling 41 watts. So it should run for about 18 hours. Now, I don't have that long to wait on this test, but this would be kind of a cool thing to have if you were going to a off-grid gathering of some sort and you wanted some ice. Now, honestly, I consider this size of power station to be that Goldilocks size. It's not too big that you don't want to carry the thing around, but it's big enough that it's going to usually get the job done. And that's why I grab this thing all the time around the house. Okay, we're about 3 hours into the refrigerator test, and we're at 65% left on the battery. This is actually doing better than I expected. All right, we're 2.5 hours in roughly for the freezer test, and we've still got 81%. Still drawing that 76 watts, and it still says 8 hours remaining. So closing in on the 2-hour mark for the multi-appliance test. We've got 24% left on the power station. We're drawing 365 watts, and it says it's going to last for another 34 minutes. We're 2 hours into the ice test with the power station, and we've still got 80% left. Currently pulling about 140 watts. I've got power stations that are 3 times the size of this unit, but that also means they're about 4 times the weight. And often on a short little day trip, I just don't want to lug something that big around. That's where this one comes in. It's small enough that I can grab it and do all kinds of things around the house or for short day trips and have plenty of power left. All right, we're almost 2.5 hours into the multi-appliance test, and the battery is now down to 6%. I did get an alarm when the battery hit 10%, letting me know that it was getting low. We're still drawing at 365 watts, and it says we've got 8 minutes remaining, but I'm going to go ahead and end this test here. All right, we're 3 hours into this test with the ice maker, and we've got 74% left on the battery. Currently, the ice maker is not running. I've been trying to keep it running as much as possible, but once it gets full, it kind of cuts off. So we'll move that ice around and get it running again. All right, back on the refrigerator test. We're 5 hours into this test. I'm not sure if I'm impressed or confused. We have 51% left on the battery right now. 5 hours into the deep freeze test, and we've got 61% left on the battery. Now, a few specs about the device. It is capable of 1800 watts of output, and its total size is 1024 watt hours. Recharging this device is much faster than you might expect. It's got a selectable switch that you can choose either 500 watts or 1000 watts to recharge it with. And if you choose to go with that 1000 watt option, it's going to take it just over an hour to get this thing completely charged when you start it at 0%. If you need to charge it in the field, you can use up to 500 watts of solar. That's what it's rated for. And if you want to use this thing at home as a UPS or an uninterruptible power supply, it's got 10 millisecond swap over time. Now, we'll beep at you every now and again, letting you know that it's doing certain things. I believe this case it shut down on me because there was nothing connected to it at this particular moment. And I'll leave a coupon code right here across the screen. There's a great deal on this right now for my viewers. All right, let's wrap up this refrigerator test, and we are just shy of 10 hours. 4% remaining on the battery. I'm going to go ahead and call that good. Looks like I'm going to get, well, this is 83 minutes, but that's only 8 watts being pulled right now. So I'm going to say this will probably give us another 10, 15, 20 minutes at most. So we'll call it good right here, just shy of 10 hours. All right, we're about 15 minutes shy of the 12-hour mark, but I didn't want to run it any longer because we are at 2%. It says 13 minutes. We might make it, but I'm not going to cut it that close. We're going to go ahead and kill this test here and call it roughly 12 hours on the deep freeze test. We are roughly 7 hours into the test where we're making ice with the battery station or the power station. We've got 49% battery left on this, and right now the ice machine is not running at all, and that's kind of been the case. It'll fill up, stop, we get ice out, it starts again. So I just wanted to give you a rough idea. This isn't going to be a test where we run it down all the way to dead, but you can probably figure that you'll get somewhere between 7 or 8 hours even if you were running it the entire time. Now, I told you guys we were going to be doing a giveaway. Aferiy has generously offered 2 Nano 100 power stations to give away. So we're going to give away one of them right here on this video, and then I'll tell you how to get a second chance to win here in just a second. For the one that we're giving away on the video, I want you to go down in the description below, and I want you to put Nano 100, all one word, N-A-N-O 100, and just beside that, I want you to put your call sign. I'll select a winner at random, and then I will look you up on QRZ to get your email address, and I'll reach out to you via email. Once I reach out, you got about 3 days to reply, or I'm going to have to pick another winner. The second one that we give away is going to be done through my email newsletter. There's a link to subscribe down below, and that will be upcoming shortly, and I'll give you directions in the newsletter as to exactly what you need to do to be entered in that drawing. Now let's take a quick glance at the front of the unit. We've got the nice display. We got your main power on-off button right here, on-off for the light that it has built in. Right here we've got a power port. This is 12 volts, and I believe that is rated up to 10 amps. We've got two 5521 ports. These are 12 volts at 3 amps. We've got a 20-watt USB-C PD, and we got a 140-watt USB-C PD. And then we've got 2 of the old-school USB-A connectors. On the back, you'll find the 4 AC ports, and these will support 20 amps. You can know that by this little sideways part in the plug right here. We've got the switch right here on the back that we can go from 500 watts of charging to 1,000 watts of charging. You've got your overload protection breaker right here if you need to set it. And then this switch turns on these 4 ports. Down here under this, you've got the AC charging on this side, and you've got the solar charging on this side. If you like this style of video and you found this information helpful, be sure to give us a thumbs up before you head off. We will see you guys on the next one. Until then, 7-3.